Got breaking news in the NBA, and we'll get to that later. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to My Brother's an Idiot. Wow, did you like that? Did you like that one? Yeah? You like that? In the biz, they call that a tease.
That's a tease. He teased. That's the first one ever. We haven't done that yet.
I know.
We're like grown-ups.
We're like adults and everything. Welcome back to My Brother's an Idiot, the podcast where we discuss sports and whatever the hell else we want because we find ourselves entertaining and we hope that you do too. Welcome.
I don't really care, though.
You're not supposed to be talking yet, sir. God, already breaking the rules. My name is Matt. I'm the king of the goons. Let me kick you around the rest of the squad. First, holding down the fort in extreme Southern Command, he is my co-brother-in-law, the proprietor of Knox Nostalgia Collectibles. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Tank. What's up, bud?
Hey, everybody. Despite where we are as a franchise, I'm still wearing the Rockies hat.
Awesome. Good to see you, friend.
Hey, everybody.
Next, and certainly not least, the man we've named the podcast after. He is the Guldagoon, the Kaiser, the one with the hair, and apparently today he's just a rock. I summon him, Goon.
I am here. You misread my name. Rocco is just a rock. We'll get to that later, but I'm not just a rock. Rocco is just.
Oh, I know Rocco's just a rock. I was playing on words there.
Okay, but I'm not the rock.
No, you're just a rock.
I'm wearing my choo-choo shirt today. You can't really see it, but it's the choo-choo train for Electric Callboy.
Choo-choo train, choo-choo.
That's right. Got my choo-choo shirt going today. We're ready to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
Let's get into this
That's
shit.
awesome. Let's get into it. All right.
Yeah, we're already late. Let's fucking go.
Let's go. All right. To start off the shenanigans, we are going to do a Goon fantasy draft, the best college football quarterbacks of all time. 3 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 will be the format. I plugged everyone into another one of those silly randomizers, and it came out Tank, me, Mark. So Tank, you get the first pick. Take it away.
I'm going to go with the greatest college quarterback ever, Timothy Tebow.
All right.
Where's the vein?
There's no vein.
There's no vein.
You can make that argument. He was an outstanding college quarterback. He's not as good as the guy I'm going to pick. But
no, we're taking the pro out of this completely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In college.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. One of the best college quarterbacks.
I forgot. I set it up wrong. I forgot that he won a playoff game for the Broncos.
Yeah. I'm going to move on to my pick. Move on to my pick. And I'm so glad that you went the direction you did because my guy is clearly better. Tommy Frazier was an absolute problem in the early 90s for Nebraska. Give me Tommy Frazier as my pick.
That's my number 4.
Oh, gosh. Are we doing snake draft?
Nope. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Damn it. So mine's not going to make it through the second round, but I have a tough choice here, guys. You've left the door wide open for me with 2. I am going to go with Vince Young here. The man is an absolute legend, and just watching him just shred USC, it gives me such fucking great feelings in the pit of my stomach. Give me Vince Young.
All right. Good call. Okay, Tank, you're up for number 2.
Well, I was hoping for Vince, but since he's gone, Charlie Ward.
Okay. I'm with it.
I mean, he wasn't on any list
I've got a chance.
that I ever saw, but okay. Yeah, you do have a chance.
I've got a chance. What are you
saying? There's a chance.
Where are you going here?
Where am I going?
Did I fuck you over with Vince Young too?
No. He was on my list, and I don't really have him ranked at all. You know what? He never won a Heisman. He never won a national championship. But he's one of the greatest quarterbacks to have ever played the game, college or pro. I'll take Peyton fucking Manning.
Yeah, good choice.
That's a good one.
Good choice. Not my choice, which is awesome. So I got my 2 top picks, and I'm really excited to announce that the Miracle in Miami is our second round pick. Give me fucking Flutie Flakes, baby.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
taking Doug Flutie.
He was on my list too.
Same here. Yeah, my list was like
yeah.
20 people long.
We
Yeah,
watched
there's a whole bunch
he
of
was
people.
he was filming commercials for a local Jersey Mike's right by Fenway Park when we were there back in May, and I had to do this whole like I got to get a picture of him and go back and like but not like bug him and stuff. I'm like, holy fuck, that was Doug Flutie.
I'm sure it's not hard to miss him. He's like this freaking tall.
Right, yeah. I was like, who's that guy filming commercials? And I thought about him like, oh my god, that's fucking Doug Flutie. He's still in great shape, by the way. Holy shit.
Oh, I'll bet. All right, Tank, your last pick. Who you got?
God, that's so hard to narrow down, to be honest. But I'm going to take the Homer pick and go with Slash, Cordell Stewart.
Oh, fuck you. All right, I still got a chance here.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. This is
Give
tough.
me. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
There's a
Give
lot of-
me. Wait, I know.
I think I'm hoping you don't.
You know
go
what?
Go ahead.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna go old guy stats here.
Oh, we're
Good
going.
job.
This guy
job.
is 5th all time in TCU history with 40 touchdown passes, and he did it in the 30s.
He's going for the namesake, huh?
Sammy Baugh.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
Slinging Sammy Baugh.
Now, I'm really glad. I've got a fucking great class of quarterbacks, and these guys, all three of these guys are just fucking monster cannon arm guys who were able to run around in the pocket. Nobody ran around in the pocket quite like Michael Vick, though. Give me Michael Vick all day.
See, I was sure he was going to do it.
Yeah.
I was sure he was going to do
I
it.
I get Michael Vick is a bad guy, but if we're just talking straight up, like he's one of the greatest college quarterbacks.
Oh no, that dude was a menace on the football field.
Yeah, he was a juke
Well,
stick. He was the juke stick.
Here's a problem with Michael Vick. He never threw for more than 2,000 yards, and he never ran for more than 620 in 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Could anybody stop him though?
Florida State couldn't, and I think that's where a lot of it comes from. Is that one game against
Yes.
Florida State, right?
Yes.
I mean, he was otherworldly in that game, but
Yeah,
See,
absolutely.
I wasn't sure who you were going with on that last one. I was thinking you might have gone with Superman, Cam Bam Newton.
I thought about Superman too, but
yeah,
after watching him get wrecked by the Broncos, I don't think I could ever like pick him up with my hands again because he's just made of broken bones now. So
yeah.
we're just gonna let him just
Oh yeah.
lay on a
Right.
floor.
and he
There's an
and he only
additional-
really played the 1 year.
Yeah, but he did so crazy good that year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He was unstoppable. He was legitimately earned himself the first pick in the draft.
No.
Well, yeah, 100%.
And there is so many other honorable mentions that it's absurd. You know,
Right.
You're right. There's a ton of other options you can do there. Like
Right.
I had a list up and I think I closed it out. I did because that's the kind of guy I am.
Oh yeah, I literally have 20 people deep on the
Yeah.
list.
Hell, there's one that's playing now that could be better than all of them, guys. Caleb Williams is a problem.
Yeah.
yeah.
Matt Leinart, come on. Eric Crouch,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Steve McNair, come on.
Kellen Moore,
Yeah,
Carson
Kellen
Palmer,
Moore
give
at
me a
Boise
break.
State. Mm-hmm.
Sam
Graham Harrell.
Bradford, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
What was the name of the kid that played for Houston forever? And has all the passing records, and then Colt McCoy. Come on, he's got to be
Yeah.
up there.
oh yeah, for Texas.
well, hell, Colt Brennan.
Colt Brennan.
What the
Oh,
hell?
Cole Brennan,
Yeah,
Hawaii.
Colt Brennan in Hawaii,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And that guy got thrown out of Colorado because he got convicted of breaking and entering.
Yeah.
Then went over to June Jones and broke every record there was.
Another
Andrew-
Hawaii, Timmy Jang.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, and we can't not talk about Sanford, not talk about John Elway.
John Elway. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Pat White for West Virginia when they were actually good for a few years there. Holy shit.
Chase Daniel was one I was thinking about,
Chase
but he was
Daniel from
from
Mizzou.
Missouri.
Yep.
There's a lot
Hell,
of them.
I saw some lists that had Case Keenum on it, and I was like, really? And then I thought about him, like,
He was great.
yeah, he was actually pretty.
He was
fucking
amazing
good.
in college.
He was great.
Yeah, I know.
He was just
It's
small.
that thing where you just separate the pro career from the college career, and you have to like only look at that part. And when I hear Case Keenum, I'm like, ugh.
When I hear
think
Case,
about, I'm like, oh no.
When I think about Case Keenum, I think about Case Keesum.
Case Keesum. Yep.
Ken Dorsey,
He's announcing
when he was
his
with the
John Elway is announcing his players that can't get any of their names right. I'd like to thank John
Right.
Elway.
I'd like to thank John Elway.
Still one of the best ones ever.
Yeah. Okay, bud.
Thanked himself.
All right, good job. So Tank's got Tebow, Charlie Ward, and Cordell Stewart. I've got Tommy Frazier, Peyton Manning, and Sammy Baugh. Mark's got Vince Young, Flutie Flakes, and Mike Vick. I'd go to war with that group.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
solid group.
Yeah, that's solid. And we got through our first bit in only 10 minutes. Good job, guys. I think that deserves a pat on the back. Go ahead. Pat yourself on the back. Bam. There you go. All right, let's move on to happenings in the NFL. We'll touch on a few games here. The Cincinnati Rams game was much ballyhooed and ended up being terrible. Joe Burrow is going to be fighting that calf all year long, guys.
Yep.
Do they have any hope of winning the AFC North?
Yes. And if they can get a halfway decent performance out of the offense, that fucking defense looks monstrous. At times, that defense looks like they can shut anybody in the world down.
I think they'll be fine. Joe Burrow's had a slow start before already in his career. I hope the injury he gets better, whatever. But they're a much better team than they're playing, and I think that they'll correct it themselves. It's a long season, and the AFC North is not good.
Right. Well, we saw Baltimore lose in overtime to Indianapolis,
and they were missing like a third of their starters.
Yeah,
including the quarterback.
Yeah.
That their injury list is absurd already.
And fuck Cleveland, so there's that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
right.
And I think just Pittsburgh. I mean, Kenny Pickett's great, but he's Kenny Pickett.
They may have 3 of the top 5 defenses though in that division.
Yeah, I mean you're probably right, but that's the way it is always in the AFC North.
Yeah,
nobody's going to win more than 10 games in that division. The winner's going to maybe have 11 wins.
No, they're going to beat the shit out of each other.
It is AFC West. That's just, AFC North, and that's just that. We're seeing it. This is the Rust Belt in action, right?
Yeah, it's as Berman used to say, it's the Norris division. It's just what it's going to be again.
I'll start calling it the Big Ten division of the NFL.
Right? No kidding. I think all of Cincinnati's hopes pin on the health and legs of Joe Mixon because they don't have anybody behind him. As long as he's running the way that he's running right now, they are going to be successful. But we've had the running back conversation before. He is a little bit long in the tooth, so we'll see if he holds up.
That phrase, will somebody explain to me, like some other time, not now, what it means to be long in the tooth? Because I'm just like, every time I think about it, I'm like, are we measuring teeth? And like, was there at some point, like, the longer the tooth, the older you were? Like
Not in
tree
people.
rings?
Not in people. Animals, yes.
No, I get that, but where does that phrase come from? Long in the tooth.
That's where it comes from.
That's where it comes. Animals.
It comes from the animal kingdom. That's how you measure the age of like sharks and shit like that.
You cut like their leg open, or you just like rip out a tooth out of their mouth? Like you must be around.
Measure the tooth.
All right, moving on. And we can't talk
distraction. It wasn't that bad. You can't give me the full moving on.
I'm going to give you the moving on.
Okay, fine.
We can't talk about the NFL without talking about Tank's favorite player, Danny Dimes, who looked absolutely fucking dreadful.
Vanilla Vic looked so bad.
You need to let him run some more.
Why?
So he can
because the passing thing's not working right now.
Because the only way that Danny Dimes can get to 1,000 yards rushing is if they rush him more.
Well, they're not doing anything. Yeah. That offense is completely anemic. That offensive line.
You just want to win one of your preseason bets.
Huh?
You just want to win one of your preseason bets. Your hot takes.
The other, there's a couple runners that are getting it's looking like it's going to go that direction, so I'm not too worried about it. But they legitimately need him to run the ball for that offense to work. At this
They legitimately need him to play better than he's playing.
Oh,
he's
true.
awful,
right?
But they also need to
You guys
block.
You guys saw the TikTok I sent you with Danny Dimes trying to look at the defense, and he's like
That was
literally scared out of his brain.
Right.
That
Has
was
no idea what's going on.
Yeah, that was horrendous. But that offensive line is so trash bag, though. It's repulsive how terrible that offense is altogether. I don't understand how they can be that ineffective and still be professional athletes. I don't get it.
Well, let's talk about a couple other surprise results that happened over the weekend. We mentioned it once, the Colts in overtime over Baltimore. None of us saw that one coming, did we, fellas?
Ugly game. Jesus Christ. 18-17 was the final?
Yeah.
No, wait, I'm looking at the wrong score. What was the final of that one?
I think it was 3 points.
22-19.
22-19.
Yeah,
That's
it was 3 points. It was a field goal.
Yeah, that was
bad. Just bad. And Gardner did fucking the step out the end zone bullshit.
The Orlovsky.
Yeah. Yeah, he did the Orlovsky.
Yeah.
The mustache leads the Colts to victory.
That's wild.
So crazy to me.
I know. Oh, God bless Gardner Minshew. May he play for another 10 years.
The Ravens, they have half their damn team on IR at this point. They have a whole Pro Bowl team on the IR.
they were out of, I think, what was it, 14 of their 22 starters last week?
Mm-hmm.
7 on offense and 7 on defense. That's half.
Including their entire offensive line, essentially.
And quarterback.
Yeah, and quarterback.
That's bad.
Yep. Yeah. It's going to be rough sledding for sure. The other real surprise one, I think, that none of us saw coming, the Texans beating Jacksonville.
Well, there was one other surprise.
There's one other one we will talk about and make fun of.
I just realized that one's not on this list. But,
but yeah, Jacksonville looking like they can't beat themselves at this point. You know, Trevor has had a massive regression, seemingly, from how
they're playing down to their
competition.
They seem to be in that set of young team getting thrown together where they are playing to the level of their competition in every game. And if you do that, you're going to get beat by teams you should be beating handily. And I think that's what you saw on Sunday.
Yeah, they made an Ohio State quarterback look good.
We love.
Well, he's had 3.
That.
And I'll say it, he's had 3 good weeks. We'll see if it continues.
Yeah.
He's been good enough for me to drop Justin Fields and add him, so I didn't feel too bad about it.
Oh, did you add him?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, actually.
Nobody cares about your fantasy team.
Yeah, CJ Stroud looking like the best of the rookie class somehow.
Yeah, he's looking awesome. Yeah, and they're with the young team like that, with seemingly no talent and very little, coaching respect around him, they're doing the right thing and letting him dictate the offense. They're doing the things that he does well to keep within himself, and then letting him be an athlete. And I think that's smart. It's what everyone should do if you draft a number 1 pick. Like, all right, let's form the offense around the guy we're going to spend $500 million on eventually. We're going to eventually be a franchise based around this guy. You've got to go all in. And when you see other teams not do it like that, you can see that they just, fail. That's just the way it is. If you draft somebody that high, you have to play to their strengths. And Houston seems to be doing that.
Right. I do want to call out former Bronco fullback Andrew Beck getting an 85-yard touchdown return on a kickoff.
That shit was awesome. That shit was awesome.
One of the greatest things I've ever seen.
It was
from
so
a
good.
5'10" white guy. I mean, come on.
It was so good.
Oh, man.
You go, Andrew Beck. You go.
Right? It was so good. But what about them Cowboys, huh?
I did mean to put the Cowboys on here, and I totally spaced it. I had them on here and I pulled them because the agenda was getting long, but what the hell? Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. But I just want to enjoy the fact that the Cowboys, choked on a giant bird-shaped dick on prime
How
time.
do you let Josh Dobbs beat you like that?
And the fact that all eyes were in Kansas City because Taylor was there, and they pulled it off all the national broadcasts because that game was so out of hand by halftime. And they're like, fuck it, let's watch the Cowboys lose. You know, so like, not only do you have all of the fucking Swifties on there, but now you've got the entire nation looking at that fucking football game. I love it. I love watching the Cowboys lose and choke in primetime, man. Fucking love it.
Yeah, I think Josh Dobbs look like a world beater somehow.
Well, you know, that's Mike McCarthy's MO, man. He just likes to get beat in strange ways by strange teams.
In the public view, too. He is just like 100%. Yeah. When everyone is watching, he is going to sit on a dick and break it. Every single time.
Jesus. Well, that escalated quickly.
Is it his own at least?
Yeah. He stepped on his own junk. So.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
On national television. Right. Way to go. Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs. Fucking Arizona goddamn Pac-12 Cardinals.
Yeah. God, they were my pick to go 0-17.
Right.
And they fucked it up against the Cowboys?
Two of them fucked it up. Two of them fucked it up.
And then, Dak had to go and, prove everyone right in crunch time and throw an interception in the end zone.
Yeah, man, threw a pick. Yeah. Although it is his first one. Yeah. So he went almost 3 full games without throwing one.
Right,
so he's
because
on pace for less than 9.
Matt, nobody was watching the other 2.5.
Oh, that's true.
They switched to that game at halftime.
He waited till the absolute worst time to throw one to do it.
Yeah. Where's Taylor Swift? Oh, the Cowboys suck. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room and the Denver Broncos losing to Miami historically 70-20.
The worst defensive performance in NFL history. That's impressive.
So my only hope for it, I have 2 comments about this game, and then I'll let you guys kind of take over and talk the X's and O's because you're better at that than I am. One of which is somebody came up to me. Actually, I had several people asking, did you see what happened in the 4th quarter of that game? No, I didn't watch it. It's bad football, and at that point, I'm not going to watch a bad football game. I'm just not. I've got better things to do with my time than watch these overpaid crybaby millionaires be awful on television. There's other things I can do on a Sunday afternoon. I'm just not going to watch it. The other comment I have is my only hope for that game being less embarrassing was that Kansas City put more of a hurt on the Bears than the Broncos lost by, and Kansas City took the foot off the gas at halftime. And we also saw that Kansas City, if Mahomes goes down, Kansas City is fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are fucked.
Yeah. And that ankle looks like it's going to need to be watched.
Yes.
Because he was not walking well.
And holy fuck, their backup quarterback situation is not bueno.
Gabbert. Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking it's
who
not
immediately
good.
Came out of halftime and threw a pick.
Yes. Didn't he throw 2 in the game?
I think it was 2, but he immediately came out of halftime and threw it. And I was like, well, how did that happen? Yeah. Why did Kansas City turn over the ball immediately?
Awful. So they've got to hope Mahomes' ankle gets held together. They need to get MacGyver out there and use rubber bands and shit like that, get it together, because they will not win the division if he goes down. Blaine Gabbert is the worst backup quarterback in the AFC West.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but they also have the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Broncos in the same division. So, I mean,
well, according to Vegas, we've got some interesting things coming up.
Okay.
Apparently, the Chargers are like the best team in the world. Holy fuck. It's wild. Anyways, let's go back to the game. That's all I had to say was just those 2 things. You guys kind of take over from there. I don't want to talk about bad football anymore. But
to Mark's point, I also stopped watching in the 3rd quarter. I went and painted the Goon Cave because I honestly would much rather be in a basement breathing paint fumes than watching that garbage. But what we
I made a similar joke about the game on Sunday coming up. I wanted me to go to church because that's going to be more exciting.
Right. A couple of things to note here. One, the Miami Dolphins may be the fastest team in history. They put up this top 6 fastest ball carrying plays of the year so far in that game. And 4 of them were by a guy we've never even heard of. Right. So this 8-chain guy is just immensely fast. We already know how good Tyreek is. They couldn't generate anything that amounted to a pass rush, which they haven't been able to do all year. Tua already throws the ball very quickly. This Miami team tank is very dangerous.
Oh God, yeah, incredibly dangerous, and they did an amazing job, and their offense is amazing. And on that game alone, they could be hitting historical levels of across the season work just because of that one game. But I don't think people should expect that to be the norm. That was a hurricane of misfortune for Denver, apparently, to where they had their second team in and they still scored 3 touchdowns. So I don't know what a chain
there were a lot of
over 10 yards a carry.
There were a lot of business decisions made in this game. It didn't help that you're missing your top 2 safeties, one for the season, and I'm really worried about Justin Simmons' hip because that kind of an injury will linger.
Oh, he was looking slow, yeah.
And Kareem Jackson did not look like himself. I'm sure the flags and the fines have something to do with that. They just didn't look like they were there. They clearly wore down. And one of the narratives going into the game was the heat and the humidity and how Miami always puts the visitors on the sun side and there's not much you can do about it. And they clearly wore out, clearly had nothing left to give. And it ended up being just something I would rather forget.
Yeah, and one of the unfortunate narratives that seems to still exist with this team is they think it's the same thing that was going on last year, and it's not. The offense did not do amazingly, but they did okay. The problem was that the defense was just so horrendous that there's not a quarterback in this league that could make up 51 points in a game.
No,
you cannot be held responsible for that. That's insanity. Right. And so the narrative of, oh, well, Russ sucks. It's like, no, Russ doesn't suck. Now
the whole team sucks.
Russ's contract made some things difficult to pay for players and stuff like that. But the biggest issue we're running into is it has to be at least somewhat a scheming issue because there are people getting beat. Patrick Surtain got beat twice, and not because he got beat on a good route. He just was in the wrong position. He got beat twice.
Here's the problem. If you're playing the fastest team in the country and you know it, you need to tell your stud that he can't get beat deep. And that's all on coaching.
Well, and that's
you think they
people
didn't do that?
Everybody else, every other team in the NFL is not letting people pass them like that. They're getting in this cover 2 shell. How in this year in the NFL where everyone is playing cover 2 shell and nothing is getting behind them, do you let people get behind you?
And that's exactly
if it's not working, change it. They're not adjustable.
I don't think anything was going to work.
No,
right? I don't care if it's scheming or not. The underlying issue with this team here, guys, and I'm going to use a story to make this point. So there's, you guys know the golfer Greg Norman.
There once was a man from Nantucket. Oh, not that story. Right. Anyways, go ahead.
So Greg Norman was in a pro-am a bunch of years ago, and he was playing, pro-ams, they play with other people, right? And this guy that was playing with Greg was asking him for some tips. He's like, what do you think I should do with my swing? And Greg says, you've got a loft problem. And the guy looks at his clubs like, a loft problem. He goes, lack of fucking talent. This team has a lack of fucking talent. They have 0 depth. They have 0 speed. They've got maybe 2 guys on defense that could start on other teams. Everywhere else that we have a starter is a second or third stringer. The offense is, to Tank's point, okay. And Russell has been playing well. As a matter of fact, Russell's got the same stats almost to the yard and to the percentage point that Patrick Mahomes has.
Right.
So he's playing decently. Yeah. Take that second half of his performance out of it because the game plan had to get tossed and thrown away, and everyone knew they were going to try to push the ball down the field because they had to. And when you do that with a defense that has a pass rush like that, you're going to get killed. Like, you don't expect it to be 70 fucking points, but you're going to get killed. they need to slow the game down, get it closer, try to keep the game as close as possible, get fewer plays for their offense by running the ball more. But the time it got out of hand, you can't do that anymore. And that's all talent, guys. It's all talent.
Buying into that, I completely agree with you. I said something on Sunday about this team has had a problem for about a decade, and it's because John Elway never admitted that they needed to rebuild. So you kept buying all these bullshit quarterbacks, and you kept trading to get offensive linemen and spending all this money in free agency and not building a talented team from the ground up the way it's supposed to. And then the last 2 years, you've traded away all of your draft picks for a coach and a quarterback. Neither one of them are performing. I mean, yeah, Russell's been okay, and yeah, Sean Payton's been okay, but are they worth the lack of depth that this team is showing? No, that's all on the general manager and the upper management. This team has been mismanaged for a decade because they've been scared to use the word rebuild. And until they buy in and start building from the ground up with depth in the trenches, and it line, you have these linebackers, great, but you don't really have anybody that's homegrown. This team doesn't play together. The offensive line is trash, not just because there is a definite talent gap there, but also these guys don't play together because some of them are hurt, and most of them haven't played together because they're all new this year. So that's tough on these guys too. They can't get cohesive. The best offensive league the last few years has always been the one that has been the most cohesive and has the most starts together. That's just the way it is. You can't do that through this process of we're a quarterback away. And that's what we're doing every year. We're a quarterback away. Our defense is awesome. Now you see it on both sides of the ball. The offense is bad. The defense is bad. You're not building a franchise the right way, and you don't have the ability to right now because you have 0 draft picks. You have 0. So this team we got to do something to build the depth. This is going to be a long year, guys. This is going to be a long year.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, so I will say that I somewhat disagree with the talent perspective. I agree 100% with the depth perspective. But we do have defensive talent. But when you put defensive talent in the wrong position and utilize them correctly.
Where is the defensive talent? I'll give you 2 guys. You've got 2, and that's it.
Well, I'm going to assume you're going to say PS2.
Yeah, naturally.
And then Simmons is the other one I'm assuming you're going to go with?
I'm not going to count on him because he's hurt. It's Zach Allen. He's the only other
Zach
one.
Allen. Okay, he was one of the ones I was going to say. Yeah. I was going to say Zach Allen is one of the pieces of talent because he actually is in Jesus, but he was in the wrong position all game. You could tell that. You could tell he wasn't where he needed to be. I think
again, is that coaching or is that's
coaching?
Thank you. You're not running a high cover 2 shell to stop the people, keep people in front of you, and your offensive and defensive linemen are always out of position, and you're not making adjustments. You're just getting killed worse in the second half than you were in the first. That is all on coaching.
Yeah. Do you know why? Do you know why they were getting killed even worse in the second half? Because they were making fucking business decisions and they quit.
Some of them were definitely.
They quit playing the game. And that's on the players. These are professional football players who are paid a lot of money to play a game, and they need to do it at full speed every single play. Otherwise, the guys on the other side that are going full speed are going to make you look like that.
I'll tell you what, until I see, and I'm not going to have to see it, I'm going to have to rely on somebody else. Until I see something that shows me that these guys have anything at any position that's worthwhile to watch football, I've got other games I can watch. I've got other things I can do on Sunday afternoons. I'm not watching on Sunday. Fuck that. I'm done with this bullshit. It's not. There's no point in me being so angry about a fucking game where these guys are making millions of dollars and just not performing. This is not worth my time until they show me that it's worth my time. And so I'm done with them for now. It's been like this for too long. I've got tickets to the couple of the games. I will go to those, and I will be a participant in those. I was just going to say, are you going to the Jets game? Yeah, we're still going to the Jets game, and we're still going to the Packers game later this year. So I'll go there, and I'll probably have some hot dogs or whatever and support the team. But I just don't have it in me to put my heart and soul into a team that has no heart or soul. There's nothing. The coaching has been awful. The talent is awful. Everything about this has been awful, and it's just got to be burnt down. The whole thing. Trade everybody away. Trade fucking everybody away.
You've got another 14 games of awful before we can
Trade
get to next
everybody away.
That's fine.
And I was-
Get third and fourth round draft picks for everybody. Fuck it. Get Jerry Jeudy gone for a second. Maybe. Trade
I
maybe
will say-
keep Pat Surtain and that's it, but trade everybody fucking else.
See, and that's the thing. I think that one of the pieces that he didn't look like he slowed down, but he looked like he just got tired, and that was Alex Singleton. I think he just got worn out.
He's
from
just exhausted.
chasing
He's
constantly.
everywhere.
Yeah.
He's
Benito
everywhere.
Benito looked good when he was playing. But
But they don't trust him.
they don't
There
trust
must be
him.
a reason they don't trust him.
Yeah, they see him in practice every day, so there's a reason why.
There's a
he's not out
reason
there
why
a
they
whole
don't
bunch.
trust him.
Yeah,
Sean
I
Payton,
don't know what that is.
Sean Payton has no holds for any of these guys.
And-
He will play the best available.
And I
if
think
he's not the
legitimately-
best available, he's not going to play.
Kareem Jackson, I think, is playing scared after the last 2 weeks. You
I
could
wouldn't call
tell
it third. I think he's playing muted.
he's
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to go muted.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
he was not playing to his normal speed
right.
during this
Right.
game, and you could see it that he was hesitant when he was going in for tackles. You
Guys,
could see
he's
that he was
also-
hesitant
he-
to hurt people.
I love the guy, and we're seeing it now. This is the same thing with the major league pitcher who's going Bardol, Crystal, jalapeno juice up the nose. These
Mhm.
guys, when they get older, they get craftier and wiser. And unfortunately, you're seeing that with Kareem Jackson. His play is getting dirtier, but it's because he's not able to keep up with some of these guys, and he's trying to. So not only is he playing muted, but he's just getting older.
Oh,
Like,
then that's part
I
of it.
love the guy, but he is playing a lot different, and it's also because he just is not physically as capable as he was 3 or 4 years ago to do these things every play.
Mhm.
He
And for
shouldn't
some
be out
reason-
there every single play. He should not.
Why are we suiting up only 2 safeties? Why haven't we found another? We have another one on the roster who hasn't really played.
He must be terrible.
Yeah,
It's
right.
Dale
I mean,
Turner.
The only thing
Dale
I can,
Turner has barely played any.
he's
down.
got to be bad. He's got to be bad.
Yeah,
That's the
so I
only
have
thing
no
I
idea
can
what's
think.
going on there. And then we have no second corner. That is also a huge issue because Damari Mathis is not the answer. Let's go ahead and put
Nobody's
that
been
there.
the answer.
nobody's been the answer. Right.
Nobody's
But-
been the answer.
We
I
can talk
know,
about
but
this
It's
until
like
blue
the
in
fucking
face.
right tackle.
Yeah.
He's getting
God
beat up
damn it.
way worse than I thought he was going to be. And that's
it's
scary.
It's brutal.
All right, let's move on to next week. And I know, Mark, you're not going to watch it, but it is
I refuse.
the bowl of suck. I will watch it as long as it's competitive because I at least want to see a win. But we've got Chicago and Denver going at it. There's a lot of memes going around about this particular game because it's legitimately the 2 worst teams in the league. Tank, how do you see this one going?
I think there's going to be more points in this game for Denver, but that's just because the Bears are garbage. But God, I mean, I
who's-
guess Denver can win, but I have a weird feeling that Sean Payton might actually be tanking in the most crafty way possible because he knows he's protected for a year. So
And that's one of the reasons why he said what he said before the year started about Nathaniel Hackett.
yeah, he is protected for at least 1 year, and I think he's just doing the most creative tank job you could ever experience, and it just happened to fold itself in half and then eat its own ass this last Sunday. So
They do have an out after this year with Russell Wilson. So if
They have a lot of
can
outs.
get away with
Yeah,
it,
they do, but there's still a huge cap hit that comes with it. So there's who knows if he's playing average and the team plays average around him. I'll take that. I'll take 9 and 8. Right. I'll take that.
9 wins. Where
No,
are
I'm
they getting
taking-
9 wins?
I'm not saying that's going to happen this year. I'm saying
Oh,
that's the level.
Jesus. That's what I thought you were saying. I'm sorry.
No,
Jesus. I was like,
no. Then I'll take
holy
that
fuck.
level. I'll take
Somebody
that
Who are
check
they
the
beating?
air and
I'll
somebody
take-
check the air in Southern Command, man.
I'm saying 4 wins max.
Yeah, I'll take
at this
that level
point.
of football, right?
What?
Let's draft a guy and get a guy in here because the draft situation does get better. I also see this being a little bit more of a better scoring affair on the Denver side. I think they'll be able to keep their offense moving and keep on schedule. I do see Denver winning this one. Mark, do you care to offer an opinion?
Yeah, I'll get into the pick part of it in a little bit because we've got a thing for that.
Right.
But I think the Broncos will play better. mostly because they are not playing the best team in football. And also all of those other fuckers who are extraordinarily pissed off at the Broncos who are all on there, like Mike McDaniels used to be the ball boy and got picked on and stuff. You don't think he ran up the score on accident?
No, I don't think that he did.
And Fangio, you don't think that he was like, just score another touchdown. Just score another touchdown. Just score another touchdown.
If that's
I'm not saying there's anything shiesty going on, but it's just like we deserve to get our asses beat that bad. I'm not saying that anything about Miami being shiesty or anything, but they ran up the score. Did they not? We deserved it. But they did.
Yeah,
you're
gonna
by
running through how many tackles? Like you got to make a tackle to make them score the fucking
right.
To
Right.
the
No, I
tune
get
of
it.
26 missed tackles.
Right. I get it.
awful.
And I'm not saying anything about how well or didn't the Broncos played. I'm
Right.
just saying you
Right.
don't think that Mike McDaniels is sitting at home going, we put up 70 fucking points on those fuckers.
If that's the case, he has remarkable self-control for not making it 73.
Yeah,
Because he could have.
If he really wanted to twist the knife, he could have kicked the field goal.
He could have taken
could've.
the all-time record in that game. If he felt like it.
Again, I didn't watch any of that situational football because I refused to be a part
He
of
took a knee on 4th down. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I heard all about
In
it.
field goal range.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's fine. Whatever. It's
All right.
But the point is that the Broncos will be better because they are not playing that. In fact, it's the opposite.
Yeah. One of the most anemic defenses in the league.
Yeah.
All right, let's
But it
move
might
on
not
to-
be the game of the week, by the way. It might not be.
Let's move on to some degeneracy because I'm sick and tired of talking about that bullshit. Anybody place any bets this last week?
No.
I lost mine.
I did some horse bets on Saturday with the progenitor. That was a lot of fun, but did not do any football bets this week.
Yeah, I had the Titans winning outright. I had Jacksonville covering the spread. I did have the Lions covering and the Eagles covering, so I was 2 for 4. That's
not
just
bad.
good. Yeah.
That's not terrible.
Problem
That's
was
not bad.
it was in the same parlay bet, so
Oh, well, that's stupid. That's really bad.
you needed to hit all 4.
Yeah.
Needed to hit all 4 to get that plus 1503. Tank, did you place anything?
Not this last week, no. I looked at it and I was like, I don't really like our chances, so I'm just going to avoid it.
Yeah, I purposely left the Broncos off. I'm like, this is not going to go well.
No.
All right, it's time for our new favorite segment.
Yeah.
Mark, it's time for Pew Pew Pick'em.
Pew, pew, pick up.
Michaela, you're not here to cut me out.
I'll edit the shit out of that.
Excuse me while I whip this out. I'm getting my handy dandy stopwatch together with my 8-second timer. For those of you who joined us for the first couple of weeks of the season, we have been making our picks game by game. And I did what I said I was going to do and did a little bit of homework besides just picking up the sheet from the office. I actually put the spreads on the sheet so I don't have to look around and do all that goofy shit. So, yeah, I did something. Hooray, everybody.
You want a fucking cookie?
No, I'm good without a cookie. It'd be cool, though. I mean, if you want
How
to,
many
it's fine.
appetizers did we give away last week? Because our picks weren't very good.
No, they weren't. As far as I know, they hadn't been scored yet.
Okay.
I'll let you guys know, but it wasn't pretty.
No.
But I mean, you multiply that by everybody else. I mean, that's
Right.
fine. But there were a lot of people that had some fun with this, so we're going to continue to have fun with it. Everybody gets 8 seconds to give me their pick and what they think about the games. I give you the spread and the location and the names of the two teams. We do not have a fourth involved today, so I will have to be the tiebreak if there is one. I think there will be a couple times on this. I'm really interested to see how this goes. First game on the docket, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Lions versus the Packers tomorrow night. That game is in Lambeau. The Lions are favored by 1.5 point. Matt, go.
Yeah, this is the Lions season, man. They're going to win this one easy.
Frank?
God, it's hard, but yeah, I have to go with the Lions. They look like a better team right now.
No tie to break there, so we'll just go ahead and go with the Lions. The next game on my list, and this is an interesting one, but I think that the spread's kind of interesting too. We have Atlanta Falcons versus the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Swamp, and the Swamp Monsters are favored by 3 at home. Matt, begin.
Jacksonville's reeling, but we'll turn it back around. Give me Jayville.
Cool. Frank?
I actually go with the opposite. I don't trust Jacksonville until they prove me wrong. Atlanta.
Fuck, you're gonna make me break this tie. This is a hard one. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Jaguars just because they're at home. That's pretty much it. So we're gonna go with the Jaguars. The next one is also interesting. You've got the trash Bengals at the trash Titans. This game is not going to be watchable, ladies and gentlemen. This is an awful game with a beat up quarterback and also one who's just it's the Titans quarterback. What does he do? Nothing. Bengals are favored by 2.5 on the road. Matt, go ahead.
Derrick Henry is still dinged up. Bengals until they prove me otherwise.
Bold of you, sir. Go ahead, Frank.
Tennessee has the most anemic offense in football, even worse than Pittsburgh, so it's going to be the Bengals.
Yeah, if your bread and butter isn't 100%, you're not going to win the game because he is the bread and the butter and everything else. The knife, all the stuff.
Yeah.
You can, let's go ahead. Do it. We're at a stopping point. It's that time.
Sure.
It's that time.
Fix your shorts.
He got up in full left. Okay, so let's talk about
wait,
something else.
Hold on.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
hi, girls. Oh, and he's muted.
Everything's muted.
Shh. Don't yell into the microphone.
Hi, girls.
Yes, don't forget to say goodnight to Uncle Goon.
Good night, Uncle Goon. Good night, Uncle Gonzo.
Good night.
Good night, girls.
She says good night too. She's already asleep.
All right, girls.
Uncle Gonzo,
Yeah,
can you tell good night to Aunt Mimi for me?
Sweetheart, you don't-
I will. I will.
I promise.
She
Okay.
loves you very much. Okay.
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 Hey, Uncle Mike.
Who's Uncle Mike? 100% think that Uncle Mike is not paying attention to this.
You're Uncle Goon and you're Uncle Gonzo.
That's right. You get it right. Uncle Mike's not here. Thank God.
Shut the
for
door. Shut the door.
that. I said that on live. Anyways.
You're our 2 favorite uncles.
Close the door.
Oh.
You number 1.
You,
I'm her second favorite uncle. Did you hear that?
yeah.
I've spent 8 seconds around her my entire life. All of that at Chop House.
It's still, way more quality time that the other uncles have gotten. So
It's not. You're. Trust me. That's a good list to be on. Next game, we're gonna just continue on and not talk trash about anybody on. Bye, girls. This is gonna be an AFC North showdown. So we've got a Big Ten game in action. Ravens at Browns. The Browns are favored by 3 in this game. I think that's just because they're at home. I guess. Let's start with Frank this time.
I mean, the Ravens are the most injured team in the league, and the Browns actually have a good defense. So the Browns.
Okay, Cleveland, Matt.
I can't believe I'm going to say it. The Browns. Fuck Deshaun Watson.
All right, I'm going to put my name over here just because I refuse to root for anything that has
I'm
Deshaun
not
Watson a
rooting
part
for
of
them.
it. But no, I'm with you. The pick is there, but in protest, all of our names are going to be on the Ravens. So we're going to really confuse the people there. We're picking the
Mhm.
Browns, but we hate the Browns. Fuck you. F
Correct
you,
statement.
Browns. Okay, the next game of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Your Denver Broncos are on the road in Chicago. We've talked about this a bunch already. This is a fun spread. The Broncos are favored by 3.5 on the road. Matt, go ahead and tell me what's going on in this one.
Yeah, Denver takes it.
Do they cover?
Yes.
Okay. Frank, do they cover?
Denver's offense is better than Chicago's offense. They cover.
They cover the 3.5.
Yeah.
You guys both say they cover the 3.5.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. I say the Broncos are going to win. I don't see them winning by more than a field goal, though. I just don't see it.
I would take the over in this game, though. I think it's 46 points.
I
like that.
didn't get for next week, I'll add that as part of it. I've only
These
got the over-under
defenses
for
are-
the one that we need to pick the points on. So
Both of these defenses are so awful that I see this being a offensive festival.
But neither one of these offenses can score points, Frank.
They can't against shitty defenses.
No, that's not how it works. Anyways, okay, we're spending too much time on that. Okay, you're right. We'll just say you're right on that one. The next one is the LA Rams at the Colts. Indianapolis is favored by 1 point in this. Go ahead, Matt.
Give me the Rams.
No commentary, just Rams.
Just give me the Rams.
Yeah,
Really
that's
not
a
much
terrible
else.
game to pick.
That's an
It's a
awful
terrible
game. I'm not even wasting my time to break it down. Just give me
Cool.
LA.
Go ahead, Frank.
The Colts are weirdly better than they are supposed to be, and I think it's going to be the Colts that win.
Okay. So you're picking the Colts. Shit, tiebreaker. I'm going to go with the Colts just because they're at home. Neither one of these teams are very good. And then, Richardson, he's doing well. So Colts it is.
If he
Dolphins.
plays, really good. Yeah.
Dolphins are on the road in Buffalo. Let's remember that it is September, guys. The Bills are favored by 2.5 at home. I get that. I don't understand the spread, but the Bills are favored 2.5 at home in September against the Miami Dolphins. Matt, go ahead.
Give me the Dolphins until it's not the Dolphins every week until something changes.
Yeah, Frank.
Yeah, I think the Bills having the points on here is a overreaction to last week. That's the Dolphins to win this.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Clean sweep on that one. I don't understand that one at all. It's just because it's at home. Another very interesting spread, guys. We have got the 0-3 Vikings versus the 0-3 Panthers, guys. This one is in Carolina. The Vikings are favored
by 4. The fucking Minnesota fucking Kirk Cousins Vikings, who have no offensive talent, are favored by 4 on the road. Frank, go ahead and tell me what's going on in this one.
Jay Jettas still plays for the Vikings, right? So I'm going to take the Vikings.
Okay. Matt?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins plus Justin Jefferson is better than anything that Carolina has.
All right. Do they
I don't
cover?
even think they have an offensive line.
Do they cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the road, they cover?
Yeah.
It's a weird.
It's a 6-point game.
It's not watchable. I'll tell you
No,
that much.
it's going to be a bad game.
Speaking of unwatchable, you've got your Pittsburgh Steelers, Michaela's favorite team, are on the road taking the hapless Texans, who are not as hapless as we thought they were going to be. Steelers are still favored by 3 on the road. Matt, what do you think?
You know what? The Texans have a decent defensive head coach. Give me the Texans. They looked pretty good last week.
You almost didn't get that one in.
Almost.
That was close. Frank, go.
Another top 5 worst offense in the league with Pittsburgh. Give me the Texans.
Okay. The Steelers are favored by 3 in this one. What do you think that is all about, guys?
Because the Texans are terrible normally.
So
And-
are you guys saying that Texans beating Steelers is like the biggest upset according to Vegas this week?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the
I-
biggest one we've called so far.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, next is the wonderful Buccaneers that are 2-1 against the 2-1 Saints. They are in New Orleans for this one, guys. And the Saints are favored by 3.5. Matt, take it away.
Is Derek Carr playing? That's the question. Give me Tampa. I don't think Derek Carr is going to go.
Okay. Frank.
Yeah, there's no Derek Carr. The Saints are garbage. So let's go Tampa.
Who is the backup quarterback in New Orleans? Does anybody know? Is it still Taysom Hill?
No, he's fully playing tight end at this point.
That's what I thought. I'm actually going to go with the Saints at home. I'm just going to put my little name
Is it
there,
Jameis?
but we
Yeah, I
will
think
pick the
it's
Buccaneers.
It's famous
Yes.
Jameis. It's
It's
turnover
Jameis.
factory.
Yeah. It's 30 for 30.
Yeah.
Oh, it is 30 for 30.
Best
But I'm
turnovers in town.
It's Captain
I'm
Crab Legs.
still give me the Saints at home. I do like their home field advantage. But yeah, I'll pick the Buccaneers just because that's the way the game is played. Next game on the docket is Washington goes on the road up the hill to Philadelphia to fetch a pail of water, where the Eagles are favored by 8.5 at home. Matt, go ahead and take it away here.
Do you even have to ask me? It's Philly, and this
Do
is
they cover?
Yeah, this is your 15.
This
This is the most points you can assign to a game that we've had yet.
Yeah, there's another one on here, but we'll get to that one. Frank?
Yeah, it's got to be Philly.
Yeah,
Jesus.
clean sweep there. This next one is super awesome and interesting. I love it. It's an AFC West showdown. You've got the Las Vegas Raiders of Anaheim and all San Luis Obispo counties going into Los Angeles.
Luis Obispo.
I don't know. I just thought about that one bit in Zorro the Gay Blade where they it's Luis Obispo from Bakersfield. The Raiders are playing the Chargers, guys, in Los Angeles. It's not a home game. It's the Raiders fans are going to take over that place, but the Chargers are favored by 5.5 in this one. Matt, go ahead and tell me what you see.
The Raiders are awful. It's going to be the Chargers.
They still beat the Broncos. They're not that bad.
They're
Frank, go
awful.
ahead.
I think that spread is basically just Justin Herbert. So yeah, let's go with the Chargers.
Okay, Justin Herbert is probably worth more than 5.5, but I will agree with you. Give me the Chargers at home.
Well, the reason it's
next-
5.5 is because he has to overcome Staley.
The next one I think is going to actually be my 16-point game, but I want to know in this one, because we all know who's going to win the game. Will they cover on this one? That's what we're going with these big spreads. I'm going to go ahead and circle the 49ers at home. They're favored by 14. Matt, will they cover the 14?
Who are they playing?
The Cardinals.
No.
So they don't cover the 14. Frank, go.
Oh, shit. I don't think they cover it either, but I think the 49ers win.
No, absolutely.
49ers, they better.
Right.
They better. Or
That's
else,
what everyone said. Like, wasn't it a 12.5-point spread for Cowboys last week?
Here's what happens. If the Cardinals win 2 games in a row against 2 of the best teams in the NFC, do they become like playoff contenders? No.
Yes.
But they would, right?
Weirdly enough, they do.
fucking
Yeah.
weird. Anyways, speaking of the loser Cowboys, they're at home this week coming up, and they have the New England Patriots coming down to help them defend the Alamo or something. I don't know. So Patriots
San
in Dallas.
Antonio.
I know. Patriots are in Dallas to beat up Jerry Jones, and they're favored. The Cowboys are favored by 6.5 at home. Matt, take it away.
Yeah, it's going to be the Cowboys. They don't shit the bed twice in a row.
Oh,
Frank.
I think Belichick is the type of coach that saw what happened last week and will make it happen again. Give me the Pats.
You've got the Pats on the road
I
against the
do.
Cowboys.
Just because we saw how to beat the Cowboys last week, and that is Belichick's bread and butter.
Here's the thing. We picked the Cowboys last week. Every time we pick the Cowboys, they fuck us. I just feel like that way because it happened last week. I'm going to go ahead and be with Matt on this one and take the Cowboys. Give me the big spread. Speaking of big spreads, Chiefs are going up to New York to play the hapless Jets, who are probably going to start Trevor Siemian against Denver in a couple weeks.
Trevor Siemian Toast Crunch.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Return of Trevor to the Broncos. Not the way we want to see it. And Coach Hackett. The Chiefs are favored by 9.5 on the road. Do we need to pick this one? Should we just cover the spread? Let's just cover the game.
The
Chiefs win, right?
The Chiefs win easily, and they cover.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool. We don't have to worry about that one. No. The last game on the docket, the over-under on this game is 47.5, guys. And that is important because it is the Monday Night Football game, which means we have to pick the total number of points for the tiebreak. So the 47.5 point spread is there. It is the Seahawks at Giants. The Giants and Danny Dimes are favored by 1 point. Frank,
what?
Defend. The Giants are in New York, favored by 1 point against the Seahawks. Defend Vegas, Frank.
Oh, Jesus, I can't defend that. I take the Seahawks and I go 34-27. I think the over hits.
Okay.
34-27. You see the Giants scoring 27
Hold
points?
on. I got to write that one. Hold on.
That's
One is
secondary. The
27
Seahawks.
points.
Secondary for the Seahawks. Look at it.
34-27. So that's shit. I can't math. 61 points for Frank. Okay,
Yeah.
that is definitely the over. Matt, do you want to go on?
The Seahawks win, and it's going to be 17-16.
That seems more likely to me.
27
So you take,
points.
but you picked the Seahawks, right, Frank?
Yes. Oh God.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
I don't have to pick shit. All right.
27 points.
I think Kenneth Walker gets 200 rushing yards. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, this is going to be Charbonnet's coming out party. Wow.
How is New York favored at home in this game? Has anybody ever watched the New York Giants play football this year?
I think it's what I'm saying. The secondary for the Seahawks is dog shit. And I think that's what people are expecting, is that they'll just let loose against that defense. Alternatively, what if it's just sharp money coming on the natural 3-point game? Ooh, could be. This is a smart way to play it.
But nobody wants to bet it, which is why it's only moved 2 points.
Yeah.
Well, you get that 3-point bump for being at home if you play it, on a neutral site. So they're saying that Seattle's a better team on a neutral site by 2 points, but whatever.
Well, it's late enough in the week that some money may have come in on it, but whatever.
It may adjust. That may go even, weirdly enough.
I would bet it. I would bet it hard the other way. But that has been Pew Pew Pick'em, guys. Let us know what you think. If we need to adjust it, we could do 5-second timers next time. That could be fun. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Mark. Good job, Pew Pew Pick'em. Let's move on to news and notes in Major League Baseball. And guys,
that's
awesome.
awesome.
They finally did it.
It's so awesome.
We get to
I'm
etch
so happy.
the name of that team onto the Spiders Cup.
You're not saying it because she's in the room, huh?
The first time in their history, the Colorado Rockies have lost 100 games. And after tonight, it'll be 101 because they're getting killed by the Dodgers.
Oh, God,
It's rain and losses. Hallelujah. It's rain and losses. Hallelujah. It's rain and losses.
But before we get into that a little bit more, I do want to point out, we did mention the last time we got together how the Royals got there first, right, with 101. Yeah. And then the A's had just snuck in. Since then, it's 110 for the A's.
They blew right past that.
They haven't won a game in weeks.
The Royals are 8-2 their last 10, and the A's are 2-8 their last 10, and are going to definitely. We'll plant the flag of the Spiders Cup in Oakland for now, but it's absolute insanity. Just so bad.
So bad. That baseball is bad.
And Mark, do you think that this is going to bring about any change at 20th and Blake? I didn't think so either.
Nope. Do I need to explain why it's a broken?
No, I'll tell you why. Because they were 14th in the league in attendance and averaging 32,000 a game.
Well, and not only that, but they own a block of the city just fucking to the wherever of that, and they're making just as much money on that. Mm-hmm. Just as much money on that. They don't have to do a fucking thing. They could do less and still make money.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, y'all fucked up. Y'all fucked up, Rockies fans. Sorry, y'all fucked up.
Yeah, well,
sorry.
I'll talk about that when we get to dipshit of the week.
Y'all fucked up, and I'm sorry about it. I wish I could root for the hometown team. I just can't. It's so hard for me because I want to be a Rockies fan, and they're such great baseball fans. You're in a room with one. Our mother is one. They watch almost 162 games, and they're subject to 100. That's what I'm saying. The ghost of Sarah is there, and the actual Sarah is there too, somewhere behind the couch, I think. But I feel. I do give her a hard time just because I think that's kind of fun as a sports fan to, hey, the Rockies, blah, blah, blah. But it's an embarrassment. It's so bad. This town they want to support good baseball. They really do. Mm-hmm. I'm a Red Sox fan. Unless the Red Sox are playing, I would like to see the Rockies win every game.
Why? Because that affects my business directly. Not only that, but I am a hometown guy. I will support a good Rockies team. We will not get one. Gentlemen, the era of good Rockies teams, we will not get one. We're done with it. Fuck all at 20th and Blake.
And
They're terrible.
Yeah, it's not good. Let's put it that way. And we may have a fourth team joining the Spiders Cup.
Yeah.
The Chicago White Sox are dangerously
Sox.
close.
The White Sox have been like they started out okay, and since the All-Star break, they have just fucking plummeted.
They're at 98 losses with 4 games left.
They traded those 3 players to the Angels, who subsequently just cut them and traded them away when Otani got hurt.
We also could have 4 100-win teams. We have 1. The Braves are there.
Yeah.
Baltimore needs 1 more.
Yeah,
Tampa needs 3 more.
They might get it.
And then who was it? What was the last one?
Houston.
The Dodgers need 3 more.
The Dodgers.
Yeah, they're going to get one.
They're
tonight.
getting one today.
Exactly.
One right now.
So you need 2 more.
Just like last year, we could have 4 100-win teams and 4 100-loss teams again.
Yeah, that whole parity thing is great, isn't it?
Yeah, parity's amazing in Major League Baseball.
Hey, we're not doing great with the parity in the NFL this year either. Let's just talk about that.
Well, the Cardinals are winning, and so are the Texans somehow. So yeah, we are.
Yeah,
aren't we though? Yeah. There's still 4 teams that are 0-3.
That happens every year.
But they're bad. They're very bad.
Okay,
bad teams are bad.
Yeah. The parity in every other league is superior to what you see in baseball, because baseball can't get a handle on how they spend fucking money.
No, because there's no regulation of the ownership.
Correct.
There has to be some kind of there has to be something that they can do about how bad the Rockies are. There has to be.
There is.
There has to be.
There is. Fire the Montforts.
They can't. There's no
into
grounds
the
for
sun, not from the
okay. Yeah. All
the
right.
sun.
You know, Elon, I don't ask you for much, but could we borrow something?
Elon,
you throw in a couple shillings. I bet you that Mark and I could do a better job running this team than Dick and Marty.
Scarlett and Julia could do a better job,
right?
Those club level lobster rolls. I'll fucking put together a better farm league team than these jabronis. And
we have a better farm league
because I like Bud Black
jabronis.
Oh yeah. You know what? And Bud Black is in the catbird seat, right? He's got one of he doesn't have to worry about his job security. He gets to work in a beautiful place. Yeah. He loses a lot, which is really going to be the only thing, but he knows he has no control over that.
Right.
He literally has no impact on X's and O's and runs and strikeouts.
He's got to have the most stress-free managerial job in baseball.
Yeah.
Especially for
it's brilliant. And they just keep paying him every year. They just keep paying him. And I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it.
He's not
a good baseball guy. No,
he's not the problem.
No.
Literally everything else is the problem. Literally everything else.
You mean the fact that we consistently trade away every single bat that we have, except for Charlie Blackmon, who's no longer there?
Pay people. Pay people to take our best players. Just pay them. And the highest person on the Rockies payroll for baseball personnel is somebody who plays in St. Louis.
Yep.
And like 8th or 9th on that list is somebody who retired 5 years ago or more. I can't remember when Todd Helton retired. It was definitely more than 5 years ago. But point being, they're still paying him. He's in the top 20 for the players.
Yeah, this team sucks. And their decision making is probably the biggest problem.
Probably no. It is.
It is. But you guys gave them that city block that was a parking lot. So, way to go, Denver.
Rockies. I hate the Montforts. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. And you're not going to get rid of them now. You can't
unless those guys stand cranky. Because as much as I hate that man, at least he wins championships.
No, they won't. They won't. They don't have to. They can just. They're printing money. They're printing money. They don't have to do a fucking thing.
The only thing that will affect change is the gate, and the gate isn't going to change because people come here.
No, it's a beautiful stadium.
Right.
Amazing. Go to game there.
Like, you know what the biggest problem with affecting the gate is? It's not the people that come here; it's the people that are here. That when the other teams come here, they're already here, so they just go. You know, like all the Brewers fans that show up. You know, they're close to selling out Brewers games because there's so many people here from Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Los Angeles, Boston, New York. You know, I feel like I'm doing the thing that we used to do at the end of the podcast right now, but it's true. There are so many transplants who love baseball in this city. And
the Red Sox fill that stadium. Red Sox fans fill that stadium every
Cubs
time.
fans fill. The Dodgers, they sell out
The
Mets
Yankees,
games. They sell out Yankees games. There are so
Braves.
many fans from other that this could be such a fun baseball town. And the Monforts have stolen our fun. And we now have that big, beautiful building that's next to that big, beautiful ballpark that has a big, beautiful rooftop on it. And they don't care about baseball, and they don't have to. And unless they find that they're like, I don't know, they have a collection of, you know, I'm trying to be, I'm just going to be outlandish. I didn't want to get in trouble, but unless they find out they're just like
out of the league,
unless they find out that they have like a collection of like dead slaves or something like in their basement, like that's what's going to affect change. Like they have to find out that the Monforts are like actual horrible people in order to get rid of them.
They have a collection of Colorado Souls in their basement right now.
It doesn't. Well, they do, but does that affect change in the baseball field? No, it's got to be like Dan Snyder or what the fuck was the name of that trash from goddamn the Clippers?
Oh yeah.
But anyways, it's got to be something, or the guy from Carolina who did the fucking thing that was also fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like we need to find out if
so
the Monforts are fucking assholes
or sexual assault.
Yes. Some form of assholeity that is not apropos to being legal.
That should not be the only way to get rid of an owner. Let's just say that.
I do have one more baseball note before we move on. I know we've talked a lot about baseball, and Matt's eyes are about to fly out of his head because they're rolling super hard right now. Yeah. But Terry Francona might be coaching his last couple of games right now with the Cleveland Indians, and he may not. He'll probably retire. He'll probably Guardians, Indians, whatever. The team in Cleveland. Tito is going to retire. Tito is probably going to retire at the end of this year. And I just got to say that man is just what a fucking great guy that guy is, and baseball will miss him. He's a character, and Tito Francona, man, you had a great career. Hope you don't retire, but if you do, enjoy it. You deserve it.
All right, well said. Let's move on to a brief hit with the NHL. We were going to kick it over to Dipshit, but she's traveling. So the really only thing to talk about, even briefly, is that training camps finally started, guys. We're getting close.
One additional note.
I put it on here. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I didn't. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, take your additional note, because I'm sure that's what this is.
No. It's not the one that's on here.
Oh, okay. Fire away.
Yeah, I was just going to bring up the fact that is anybody going to talk about Nichushkin?
He's not. That's for fucking sure.
Right. Nobody else is either.
No.
Nobody's saying a fucking thing.
You told him. No. I'm not going to answer that question.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Nobody's pressuring it. Like he abandoned them in the
last week. Someone brought it up. Said, I will not answer or talk about that.
Oh my god, it's whatever. Anyways, more importantly,
here's the thing. I don't think there's any there, right? Here's what I think happened. He got hammered. She got hammered. You know, you say out of pocket shit when you're hammered. So the whole passport bad men thing, who knows? It was investigated by the NHL, 2 separate police departments, and no wrongdoing was filed. I guarantee you he went to rehab. I guarantee you he has a problem, right? He's clearly an addict, has an issue, has got it under control, and his team has welcomed him back with open arms.
And that's fine.
That's what's important.
That's fine. Say that then. You don't even have to say what's going on. Just be like, hey, the situation is resolved. There's no legal action that happened.
They did say that. They said that in July.
Well, and McKinnon came out and said, hey, Valerie's on the ice and he's here with his team. That's what he needs to be doing.
Man, it's so insane to me. It's so insane. Whatever. He abandoned the team in like the heat of a playoff that they definitely needed him for.
Oh yeah, but that wouldn't have been the difference maker. They were too.
No, but they needed him. They needed him.
True.
Yep. They also it's crazy.
Captain.
It's crazy when you're in the public eye like that and you disappear so visually like that. You should have to answer for something. You're on TV every day. It's part of the deal. It just is. Unfortunately or fortunately, your public life becomes private. You should have to answer for it somehow. And that's even us, if we were to, something would happen, we should say something because we have a public forum to do so.
Well,
And the fact that they're not like addressing it at all is just wild to me.
I promise that if you are ever discovered in a hotel room with a illegally immigrated woman, I will say something to the public in your defense.
Great. That's great.
That is not where I saw that one going.
No,
Thank
but
you
I'm
very
good
much.
with it. Yeah,
Right?
yes. We have a free get out of jail free card with Frank.
Right, sweet.
He didn't mean it.
He didn't mean it. He's not the bad man. He's fine.
No, but more fun. The Boston Bruins, who I didn't think they were going to do this, have announced Brad Marchand as their captain this year.
Why?
And first off, I just don't understand that they did it. Like the only thing I can think of is the guys in the locker room must like him that much that they did it, because I didn't think that they would replace the C after last year. I didn't think so. I thought they'd have 3 A's and just run like that. But there must be something there. There has to be, because a franchise like that doesn't do something like that unless there's a background there. Brad Marchand is one of my favorite players in hockey, has been for over a decade now. He's just an interesting dude. Very much an irritant. You don't want him with, he's very much Dennis Rodman, Bill Romanowski, those kind of guys. What's the name? Stevenson for Indianapolis for all those years with the Pacers.
Lance,
thank you. I was going to say Louis, but I knew that wasn't right. I'm making up guys' names. It's fine. But they gave it to him, and I'm happy. I'm oddly shocked, but I'm happy about it because I do like him, and that makes him, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He will be in the Hall of Fame, and he will be a Bruins captain in the Hall of Fame now. So that's pretty cool.
What's the over under for
on face licks?
Yeah, how many people does he lick this season? What's the over under? Give me a number.
10.
15. 14 and a half.
All right.
14 and a half.
All right, you know what? We're gonna add that as a bit. Marchand face licks.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna have to track that. There's a website somewhere. We'll find it.
This is like that Russell Wilson versus the bathrooms thing.
Oh yeah, he's already halfway there.
He's doing it again.
6. Yeah, he's doing it again, but he's got 6. He's at 6. All right, let's move on.
I liked how he said that is 2 total. They scored 70 points, so they had 10 touchdowns. That is 2 less touchdowns than Russell Wilson has bathrooms in his house.
Right. All right, let's move on to college football, and we'll touch on the game briefly. But CU got absolutely smoked.
What is she yelling about?
I don't know. She's yelling at the dog.
Oh,
the Rockies just lost. Is she yelling about that?
No, she's actually yelling at the dog.
It's tough because I heard Rocky, but you also have a dog named that. So.
Yeah, she's yelling at the dog. I'm sure he's probably being a nudge.
Sniffed
anyway,
around.
Yeah. So, guys, I think CU was missing Travis Hunter quite a bit. You can tell that the depth isn't there for this to take on a top tier team, but things still look good for CU, right? I think they can make a bowl game this year. They've got some winnable games. We'll see what happens the rest of the season. We need to get T. Hunter back on the field.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, they were immediately thrown in the dumpster by national media pretty much as soon as that game ended. But I'm like, okay, so you have a team that's been built in 6 months that won 1 game last year, and they've already got 3 wins, and they're going against a team that over the last 20 years has made the playoffs almost every time and has been in national championship games repeatedly.
It's the difference of setting up a team in.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry.
I don't think you're right about either one of those things. I don't think they've ever been in a national championship game, and I don't think they've been in the playoffs more than once.
Am I wrong?
Twice. Yeah.
Well,
It's all SEC and Big Ten here, bud. I mean, come on.
I get the point of what he's saying, though.
Yeah, I do. They were a very, very, very good
You're
team
talking
for
about
a very long time.
Yeah, we're talking about a team who lives on Nike money and gets recruiting just by having the swoosh.
Did you
and
see the
uniform.
shoes? Did you see
Yes,
the
yes,
heat
yes.
colored shoes?
Yes, they're
God damn,
so fucking cool.
Goddamn fucking Oregon.
They're
I
so
hate you guys
fucking
so
cool.
much.
Okay,
But that's how they recruit. It doesn't matter. Like, and they apparently they were getting phone calls from coaches from other franchises and like, hey, you guys should definitely check this out because that would help you against Colorado. Like, and Dion's gonna be fine. He doesn't have 10 years worth of recruiting going on and Nike money. We're dealing with Colorado, who's been the worst team in college football for 5 or 6 years now, and definitely the last 3. And so
they've been in the playoffs.
they'll be fine. I wasn't surprised by this at all.
They were in the playoffs in 2014, and they lost the national championship game. And they also lost the national championship game in 2010. So
3 playoffs,
Yeah.
and 2 national championship games.
yeah, and they lost. They won one playoff game and then lost the 2 national championship games.
Okay, there you go.
That's still they're competitive. They're highly.
Oh yeah,
competitive
they're very, very good team. But you were like, they were in the playoffs every year, and they've been in a whole bunch of that. It was like, holy shit, they're not that good, dude.
But
I'm
yeah,
just
it's the
saying
difference
they've been-
between 6 months of putting a team together because
Right.
we're talking about
20
December till
years.
September, and a history of tradition that dates back to when Rocco was not a rock but a dinosaur.
Right. So we've got USC coming in this weekend. What do we know?
gonna
What
be
the over
ugly.
is? Do you know what the over is this game?
I'll
'Cause
look it up.
I'm going to
I'll
take
check.
that
I'll look it up.
because USC can't stop anybody, but they can score on anyone.
Yeah, and Colorado's kind of the same way, especially while
Yeah.
they're missing their best player.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's the most popular game on the MGM once
Oh,
I get
sure.
logged in here.
Oh, it's not pulling up.
Yeah, I'm having an issue. MGM is kind of fucking. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me give you a topic. Just kidding. I don't have a topic.
I'll just put
USC
in the-
Colorado. All right. So USC is favored by 21.5 in this one on the road. And the over-under is at 73.5.
Oh God, 74. You know what? Give me the fucking over.
I
Give
take
me
the
the
over.
over.
Hammer that
the
over.
Hammer it. Hammer the over.
The 70, you know what's wild?
That's
The
gonna be
over is
like a
getting the
4.
points.
Oh, I'm
The
sure.
over is actually the better bet right now.
Yeah, it is.
That's wild.
The over.
Oh my God. That's
All right.
hysterical.
Well, we reconvene in 2 weeks. We'll cover that one and see
Hammer
what
the
happens.
over.
That's insane.
Right.
Okay.
I love hammering the over.
Right. All right. Moving on. Looks like Mel Tucker is out at
Fuck that
Michigan
guy.
State. I
Piece
do
of
want to
shit.
say. I do want to say.
Trash
one thing. I
human.
do want to say one thing about Mel Tucker. Thank you,
Go
Mel
fuck
Tucker.
yourself.
Thank you, Mel Tucker. No, I want to thank him. I want to honestly give him a good thank you.
I know where you're going with this.
I
I'll
want to
stop.
thank you,
Stop.
Mel Tucker, for doing what you did now and doing what you did to CU years ago. Because without you doing what you did to CU a few years back, we would not have Dion now. And you wouldn't have pulled this shit in Colorado now. And that we would not have to worry about that shit stain on our program. So go fuck yourself. But thank you, you awful human being.
What a trash human, man. Just they should have known it. And I hope that Michigan State, whatever, they're not hurting for money. It's a giant fucking
No.
business. But I hope that they get every dime they fucking can from that bastard because he is just a sack of shit human.
How do you sexually harass a victim of sexual violence? That's like,
By being soulless and
Yeah.
just absolutely soulless. Like what a fucking him and Deshaun Watson can just sit in a car and box each other to death in the nutsack for all I care.
finally,
Fuck
also
those guys.
in the Big Ten, Ryan Day took some offense to what Lou Holtz said, and then took to the airwaves after the game, after
Yeah, I
the beat
saw-
Notre Dame, and made a run at 108-year-old Lou Holtz again.
How are you gonna go after Lou Holtz? He's
Bro.
like 7 million.
Bro, what? Did you expect Lou Holtz to say anything else? He's a domer. What did you think he was gonna do? Pick your
So
team?
stupid.
So stupid. Like, have some emotional maturity, you fuck.
You just went after somebody's great
Yeah.
grandpa.
Right.
Those are fighting words. You can't
God.
fight somebody's great grandpa.
He's the literal embodiment of the fighting Irishman. He's this big with a lisp, and he's 400 years old. The man is Methuselah for college football, and you're going to take a run at him on national TV? Shut up, stupid.
I don't like Lou Holtz as a college football analyzer. I never have, but I've always understood what Lou Holtz is. And I enjoy watching him just because he's such an asshat on TV. It's just like, you know what you're going to get from the guy. And he hasn't been able to speak through his whiskey since he lost his teeth back in 1924.
His knowledge and his ability to break down a game. I just can't listen to him for a long time.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah.
Because it's all the time. And it's just me. I just can't listen to it.
Yeah,
However, I'm not going to go on national television and yell at the man when he's not even right there. It's like, come on, Tank, you got anything to say about this?
It's hilarious because basically just said, yeah, he can say what he wants. Who cares?
Yeah, just let him say what he wants. Fucking hell. Whatever.
Can't go after the
like he hasn't beat Michigan yet.
Yeah, you haven't beat Michigan yet. You're 0-2 against Michigan. And you needed the last play of the game to beat fucking Notre Dame. Good job, Ohio State. Go fuck yourself. All right, let's go on to the NBA. And we talked about it at the top of the broadcast. But we've got breaking news, guys. Today, this happened today. The Dame Lillard sweepstakes has been won. And it looks like it's going to be Milwaukee who gets Dame for the next couple of years. Milwaukee's going to get Dame Lillard, and they're going to swap some picks. There's a lot of ins and outs and protected, unprotected stuff that I don't think we need to cover. But it's Dame and a pick swap. Portland's going to get Drew Holiday. More on that in a minute. DeAndre Ayton and Toumani Camara. And then Phoenix is getting Nurk, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. Now, the news after the trade is that Portland's going to move on from Drew and try to trade him. That, I think, is the most interesting part of the whole thing because that's a really good defensive player who had his best offensive season after 14 years. Let's see where he goes. Early rumors are Miami. What do you guys think?
What's really interesting to me is the biggest problem that Phoenix had in all of our minds was depth. And they just got a lot fucking deeper.
Did they, though?
They just got a lot fucking deeper. Grayson Allen's a hell of a player.
Grayson Allen's a scumbag. They got rid of DeAndre, and Nurk has been abused year in and year out by Joker.
Keon Johnson's nobody to sneeze at either.
He's not anybody to sneeze at, but I don't think they got a lot deeper. I think they added some pieces, but they had to move DeAndre to do it, which I think it was a mistake.
They needed
the problem.
See, for me, I don't think so. I mean, there had to be some sort of you got to pull away some of that, natural. There's too many leaders on that team to begin with. There's too many people who want the ball that want everything going on with them. And I get what you guys are saying, but I feel like they just got better. I don't know.
They got more role players. I'll say that.
Did a spaceship just land somewhere?
Yeah, it sounded like a motorcycle just drove by your house.
That's my house,
Yeah.
It sounded like a UFO.
Right.
I got scared because I knew as I was saying it that was a really bad take, but I just went with it anyways. Just to see what you guys would do. And then the spaceship sound kind of freaked me out. I'm like, oh, I'm getting taken away now.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
But Phoenix got some role players, but I mean, obviously, who won this is Milwaukee. Jesus.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
Right.
That's
there's an immediate shift in the odds for the title next year as soon as that was announced.
Mm-hmm.
Instant favorite for the East. Favorite for the East.
I think the one thing that might throw a fly in that ointment for them is and the other team that's been mentioned, and I don't know if it's been an official rumor or if someone just threw it out there, but one of the other teams that's been mentioned in the Drew Holiday sweepstakes is Boston. Boston has been looking for someone to replace Marcus Smart. I think that is a good fit for them.
That would be
a great fit. Gives you a little bit more offensive punch. Boston could make some noise in the East as is, but a lot more if they get Drew Holiday.
Yeah, they are Other than the Nuggets, they are the most complete team in the NBA currently.
Well, they need toughness. That's been their biggest issue. They have no toughness and they have no middle of the floor presence. It's all
That's Drew
outside
Holiday.
shooting. Yeah. So adding Drew Holiday
would fix
be
it.
a massive fix on that team. I still think getting rid of Smart was a bad idea, but
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was an awful call.
but Drew Holiday being added to the middle of that team would do a lot to help them.
All right, so clear winner is Milwaukee. Second place going with Phoenix here.
Phoenix, yeah.
Boston. If they could Drew Holiday.
Boston maybe. Down the road. You know, and Portland got a lot of pieces and did get some draft capital, so they're going to rebuild. So we'll see what they look like in the next few years. But
which is what they needed to be.
honest. They're in rebuild mode for sure, and they won. They absolutely did right by Dame. I would much rather see Dame. I didn't want to see him go to Miami because I don't think Miami's quite that good. That was a magical run, and then they ran into a brick wall of a team that's actually really good in the finals. I don't see Miami doing it again.
No, not going
to.
Boston. That was kind of a fairy tale thing.
Yeah.
Boston kind of fell apart.
That could be fun. The Nuggets
there was a lot of injuries. They just everything went their way until they went to the when they got to the Nuggets, and then they just got smoked.
Giannis gets hurt. If Giannis doesn't get hurt, Miami doesn't get out of the first round.
No,
right.
They got lucky the entire time. So I mean, they're still a good team, but they're
Bucks, though.
They're good, but they're not great.
They're going to be a 4 seed again, and whatever.
Yeah. Nuggets and Bucks finals. That sounds fun. Let's do that.
Let's do that. That would be a good time.
That would be fun. That would be stressful.
I would love this. That'd
be so stressful.
Love the absolute shit out of that.
That would be such a stressful series.
All right, let's move on to the last bit of the cast, and we're going to talk about the dipshit of the week. Tank, go ahead and go first.
Oh, I mentioned this earlier. My dipshit of the week is my dipshit over the last decade. The Monforts. For making the Rockies a 100-loss team, fuck you right in the mouth. Both of you idiots. Fuck you both.
Tank, they don't care.
I don't care either. I care enough to say fuck you to them because that's what I really feel about it. Yeah. Those idiots have ruined a team that actually was looking good at one point.
They had some people that knew what they were doing baseball wise that could develop some talent, and I don't know what happened to that. They seem to have a decent farm team still, but all of that depth is either too far away or too old now, and they've traded away the stuff that's in the middle.
There you go. That's the biggest problem. They always trade away the people who are actively good.
Bless you. Jesus, you all right over there?
Yeah, sorry.
All right, Mark, who's your dipshit of the week?
My dipshit goes to Bert, who was celebrating yesterday or sometime recently on Sesame Street because he had found a rock. And for those of you who don't know, everyone's favorite, well, seemingly everybody's favorite Sesame Street character, probably the most renowned other than Cookie Monster, is Elmo. And the one thing that Elmo hates in this world is Rocco. And Rocco is his best friend Zoe's pet rock, who's also a friend, but is also just a rock. And the rock has gotten like favoritism over cookies and picking out movies and saying the number of the day. Just cut Elmo off and threw out the number 12, even though Elmo waited all show just to say the number of the day. Rocco is just a rock. And Bert, you were singing about the rock and you had the rock in your hand and you were like, it's a rock. And Elmo's coming for you, boy. He doesn't like that. He doesn't want you to be singing about that rock, and you're going to make Elmo snap. And I don't want to be a part of a world where Elmo goes fucking postal and does whatever Elmo does when he snaps. I'd like to keep Elmo on the side of good. So Bert, knock it off. Pay attention.
How dare you shit in Big Bird's mouth on your way to Elmo and Cookie Monster?
Yeah.
Well, but I'm a little salty because I think Big Bird and Snuffy broke up. So I'm a little salty with Big Bird right
Big
now.
Bird died, so that's
not dead. The guy died.
Yeah.
The Twitter account is still very active.
Right.
But I think him and Snuffy broke up. So I don't know about Big Bird. Big Bird, you got it some making up to do. Get back with Snuffy, man. You guys were a team.
All right.
It's like Slimy and Oscar.
Right. That little worm was awesome.
Love Slimy, man.
All right. For my
Well, you
dipshit
had
of the
Sean
week.
and Bert and Ernie. You went with Slimy and Oscar.
Bert and Ernie was too easy. And they broke up too.
All right. For my dipshit of the week, we are going to go to the bustling metropolis that is Brooklyn, Ohio. And there's a high school football team in Brooklyn, Ohio, Brooklyn High School, and their head coach, Tom McFarland, who is my dipshit of the week. This comes from the Associated Press and was posted yesterday. An Ohio State football coach resigned Monday after his team used racist and anti-Semitic language to call out plays during a game last week. Brooklyn High School coach Tim McFarland and his players repeatedly used the word Nazi in a play call repeatedly against Beechwood High School.
No.
Beechwood is a Cleveland suburb that, according to a 2011 survey by the Jewish Federation of Cleveland, is 90% Jewish. Brooklyn,
No.
It gets better.
Oh, no, I can't.
Brooklyn stopped using the term in the second half of the game after Beechwood threatened to pull their players off of the field if they wouldn't stop. But according to a statement from the school, several Brooklyn players continued to direct racial slurs at Beechwood players during the game. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't stand it when the adult in the room acts like a moron. When you are the leader of young men and women, you cannot do shit like this, right? There is absolutely, positively no room for this in sport. There's absolutely, positively no room for this in life. And sports is how we teach these kids about life. And this is a subject that I have a ton of passion for and have put a ton of sweat, blood, and tears into. And shit like this absolutely burns my blood. I don't care if he never works again. I hope his entire family washes their hands of him, and I hope that he is a pariah and has to go coach 3-year-old T-ball for nobody in Mongolia. Go fuck yourself.
I agree. We've dealt with some. I'm not going to make light of the situation. Kind of go off of that. I've dealt with some issues recently around, not personally, but personally, without putting too fine a point on it, of people being casually racist and not even realizing it. And it all comes from people who start as young people, and you're just dropping that in conversation, whether it be anti-Semitic or racist or sexist or any kind of ist. You gotta be. I just don't understand why we're hating everybody. Like there's too much of that going on, and it's becomes to the point where you can just kind of casually drop it, and the people around you are accepting of that, and it just spurns this just hatred and just negativity, and it's not good for anybody. It's not. The negativity has got to stop. And I know I sound like an aging hippie, because I am. I'm tired of people just being angry about people just because they're people and they're around and they're doing stuff, and people saying, oh, they shouldn't be doing that. What are you doing? What are they doing about what are they doing to affect you in your life? You're getting into their stuff to stop them, but what did they do to get you to that point? Like, and it's all over the place. It's not just race, it's everything. And so I know where you're coming from, Matt, as someone who coaches and deals with kids, and you love that, and that's such a huge part of your life, and we love you for it. And you've raised 2 young men who are loving and accepting of everybody that they come in contact of. And so are you, and so is our entire family. And that takes hard work and positivity and the ability to open up and teach somebody something and be accepting of that teaching. and it's something that, you know, we all need to work on. And our society is so full of vitriol and hatred, and it just has to stop. And you're right, it starts with the people who teach the little ones.
Mm-hmm. So he is my dipshit of the week.
Yeah, 100%. Sorry about the rant there, but
right. Well, I set the stage.
yeah, you did. It was well played. I good dipshit of the week, bad guy. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, fuck that shit for sure. All right, final thoughts going around the horn. Tank, talk about the things, all the stuff. Pimp the thing. You know, do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
You can find me here, obviously, every other week. You find me at Nerds That Know on the opposite weeks. I think we're going to do probably some more short stuff next week during the week. And then, you can find me at Knox Nostalgic Collectibles and Tank Knox on all the socials. I'm going to watch this weekend's game, and I'm just going to hope that it's visually impressive a little bit. Go Broncos.
Mark?
I said something at work today, and I mentioned it earlier. I'll say it again, that this Broncos team is going to make me want to go to church on Sunday. And it's not because I need to pray or I'm so angry. It's because that is more entertaining than what's going to happen between the Broncos and Bears on Sunday afternoon. So I would rather go do that. I'm not going to do that. It's not going to happen. We're actually going to go look at leaves in Georgetown, which should be fun. But there will be no Broncos game involved in that at all. But you can find us. Matt will tell you where all our socials are. Check out, our TikToks as well. Doing some fun stuff on those, all of our social media channels. Lots of new content coming out from all of us. So, Matt, take it away.
Why don't you talk about your TikToks? Because I don't think I have those.
So it's
just those ats.
Yeah, so it's the same as everything else. It's at Poffle Time. So just add it to the list, I guess. We're doing a lot.
Okay.
We did a lot of stuff with Meow Wolf that came out. More things of that nature. I'll probably do some more sports takes. Who knows? Just trying to get more active on all the things. So
there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, make sure you check us out on all of the aforementioned social channels. On Facebook, you can find us at My Brother's an Idiot. Search that. You'll see the black logo. Ask to get in. We'll let you in. We pretty much let anybody in, but it's a private group because we say dumb shit. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Mark's Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok's at Poffle Time. My Twitter is at Puffalupicus. My Twitch is at Puffalupicus. You may be watching it now. You're probably not because Ooga my booga hasn't said anything. So we miss you, Ooga.
Oh, Ooga my booga.
Right? Oh, and I do have to tell you, faithful listener Triffin has been a little bit absent. He got a job. So
good.
He's working. He's working for Western Distributing. So good job,
yeah,
Triffin.
man.
Yeah,
Good for him.
Good for you, buddy. Well, we miss you.
Together and taste through a whole bunch of beers with him because that's always a good time.
Absolutely. They got some brands.
Yep, they do. Lone Tree. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Eddie Line. That's another good one.
Man, that's a great one.
Yeah, right. My TikTok is at King Goon Smoke. It's been a little bit quiet lately. We haven't been eating a whole bunch around here because Mama Sarah's on some meds that doesn't let her eat much. So it's hard for me to barbecue a whole bunch of stuff. But I think with we don't have a football game this weekend for the little kids. So I'm going to be working around the house. I think I may fire it up and set aside some ribs and turkey and whatnot and have some stuff set up for me so I can eat that stuff when I want. Hell yeah. There you go. I think that's all of the news that's fit to print. We appreciate you for joining us. This is just spewing at the mouth. I've got this dog staring at me going, it's time for a snack. It's time for a snack. It's time for a snack. It's time for a
come
snack.
on, dude. I gotta take a piss.
Yeah.
That's what I've got. She's literally I'm getting the come on, bro.
Yeah. I'm and he's doing the Yoda ear thing. So like he sits back and his ears go boink and go straight out. It looks like Baby Yoda. Make sure you take care of yourselves, take care of your families, take care of each other. This has been My Brother's an Idiot. We'll see you next week on TK, and then in 2 weeks back here with the Goon Squad. We'll catch you
probably
next time.
some more idiots brunch.
And more idiots brunch. We'll see you next time. See ya, bruh.